Hello everyone and welcome to another random bits and pieces segment from my brain, and today we are yet again back in 1993, right before the start of the 1993-1994 season for the Ottawa Senators. So in the last episode we did the off season and we also simulated the preseason to this season. I didn't make a whole lot of changes just because I don't have a lot of flexibility with my contracts. Um, Things are really going to change after this season, though, because I'm going to have a lot of different players that are going to be on expiring contracts that I might not bring back. But for the time being, the team is still fairly similar to last year's team, although it's still pretty different than the real life what happened. So uh, prior to starting the video, I did choose my lineup to start the season. I did put Daigle on injured reserve for the time being, and this is the team I decided to go with. Yashin should be back by the start of the season. If not, he's gonna miss maybe one game or something. So again, a lot of players that were there last year. We do have Darren Madeley. That's the backup. My goal is to pick up maybe a better goaltender off waivers here as soon as I advance this day, if we're lucky. On defense, I decided to keep Donald Dufresne as my 7th D. He's not awesome by any means or anything like that, but I think he can play some defense, so we're gonna go ahead and keep him. Thing to note, I decided to keep Pavel Dimitra as an 18-year-old. Let's see what he does. Of course, I had to keep Jimmy. We're going to go ahead and see. At this point, for Jimmy, it's do or die. That's his last year of contract, and if he doesn't start to pick it up, I'm just going to let him go. As you can see, I've put him on the trade block. So hopefully he starts playing well for us, and maybe we can get something for him or something like that. So that's pretty much it. So if we look at the contracts again at the bottom here, 49 out of 50. So I really don't have any room with that in mind. So let's go ahead and advance the day and see if there's something good to pick up on waivers. And again, my personal goal for this season is 45 points. It's not going to be easy. Let's see if we can do it though. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. Coach reports on new players. Alright, so Yashin is still getting used to the team. At least it's not saying that it's a severe lack or anything like that anymore. So he's just getting used to all of those new players. Alright, don't need that. Alright, and now there's a whole bunch of waivers, so let's take a look. Like a guy like Mike Eastwood could have been interesting, but I really want to focus on goaltenders. Here they are. Alright, Andre Racicot. I don't think so. Yarmo Millis. I don't think so. Jimmy Waite. Maybe. Darcy Wakala. Callan Bester. Tim Chevelday. Oh. I might try to pick up Tim Chevelday. Rob Dobson. Dave Gagnon. Vincent Riendo. Rick Wamsley, who was the goalie coach in Ottawa for a few years. Ray LeBlanc. Rick Nickel. Stéphane Beauregard. Scott King. Bruce Ressin. Mikhail Stalenkov. Mike Delguidis. Jeff Reese. Craig Billington, maybe. He did play for Ottawa. Jim Rivnak, Troy Gamble, Tom Draper, Mario Gosselin, Jacques Cloutier. O'Neill, Brian Hayward. Laforêt is mine. David Littman. Oh, I could bring back Peter Sidorkiewicz. Or get Glenn Ely. Or Guieba. Oh, there's a few goaltenders there now that... Tim Shovelday, Glenn Ely, Guieba. I think I want to go with Guieba. Yeah, we are going to attempt to claim Guieba. Glenn Ely is probably the better goaltender of the two, to be honest, but he's older, and I really need somebody that can play some games for a few years. So let's go ahead and claim Guieba. Hopefully it goes through and we get him. And I'm sure that there's a few other good players out there. I just don't have the room, sadly, on my contracts, because you can only have 50 professional contracts. That's so true today, by the way. That's been like that for a very long time. Alright, let's go ahead and continue and pray that we get Guieba. Oh yeah, we did. Alright, so we have Guieba and Daniel Bertrand. Now, don't get me wrong here. It's not all-star goaltending or anything, but it's going to be a little bit better than what we had. So hopefully we can get to that 45-point season that I want to get to. Alright, so the season preview. Cup's favorites, Detroit and Brian Murray. Of course, Sens fans should be very acquainted with Mr. Murray. God bless his soul. But he can expect challenges from Craig Patrick's Pittsburgh Penguins and Los Angeles. So LA should challenge for a cup. Pittsburgh and Detroit. That's what they're saying. Dark Horses, the Rangers. Scoring race between Mario Lemieux, Wayne Gretzky, and Steve Yzerman. On the blue line, they say Ray Bourque, Brian Leach, and Chris Chelios, all good choices. And in net, Patrick Roy, Ed Belfour, and Dominic Hasek. Well, all good choices as well. So those are the preseason prognostics. Of course, things can change with injuries and trades and whatnot. Alright, you are going to take Darren Madeley's number because he's going in the minors anyway. Sorry, Darren. I didn't mean to make you sad or upset or anything like that. But you are going to the minors anyway, so I don't really care. I'm a heartless bastard. It's business. Let's just put it that way. Alright. Got myself a goaltender. That was my goal. Now I have absolutely no room to pick up anybody or anything like that, unless I buy out somebody. I don't think I'm gonna do that. I like to have the flexibility to for the money. All right. Oh, a big scouting report here. All right. Alright, so Sylvain Turgeon would like to get number 16. Sure, Sylvain, you can have it. You scored 30 goals last year. I think you deserve a little leeway. I'm no Lou Lamoriello. I'm not going to force you in a number you don't want. Alright, so the season just started and we have some suspensions. So Dave Gagne of Dallas is suspended for 7 games. Wow. Cam Neely got 600 points in his career. That's pretty good. Tony Amonte had a good game with the Rangers with a hat trick, 3 goals. All right, so Yashin should be coming back soon. That's good. Oh, Patrick Roy crashed a car, so we're going to go ahead and read that one. So Montreal star Patrick Roy is known for his hard driving play on the ice. That's kind of true. I mean, maybe not hard driving play because he was a goaltender, but he was pretty intense on the ice. But after what happened this week, he should probably drive a little more carefully on the roads. The star goalie was driving late at night on a winding road and smashed right into a highway barrier. He escaped with only scrapes, bruises, and a moderate case of whiplash, and is listed as day-to-day. The bigger injuries are to his wallet and his pride. The car, which was completely totaled, was a customized luxury Maybach valued at $500,000. He angrily declined to take questions as he limped out of a Montreal area hospital last night, but his publicist released the following statement. Patrick is happy to be home with his family and knows how lucky he is to have escaped nearly unhurt. He will be more careful in the future, and he knows that cars, unlike people, can always be replaced. Maybe so, but if he wants to be able to replace this one, he may need to drive a hard bargain when he next comes to the negotiating table. Alright, so that's kind of a blow for Montreal because Patrick Roy starts basically a season injured, even though if it's not for very long. He's a total star, so don't want to see that happen too often. Alright, and the season starts for real, October 6th, at home against the Nordiques. So, I don't know how much the Nordiques change. We can take a look at them. So they still have Extall in net. They have Thibault as well. Steve Duchesne, Yanni Locanen, Tatarina, Foot, Kerry Hoffman, Curtis Lesishin. So all of that are all players that were pretty much there. Yep. So last year. So not a lot of changes there for the Nordiques either. It's gonna be a tough game. Might not win that. So let's take a look at what happens here. That's interesting. So that's the lineup for the first game of the season that Rick Bowness is going with, and neither Larionov or Yashin are the first line center. It's Jamie Baker. Maybe because Yashin is playing hurt, so maybe he wants to ease him into the lineup or something like that. Also interesting, Pavel Dimitrov is going to be playing. Also is going to be playing on the fourth line. He's only a 10 as an up and down winger. And I'm happy with the defensive pairings. That's pretty much what I wanted. I wanted Dufresne to be the 7th defenseman, and that's what's going on here. As we can see, after the first pairing, it's getting a little bleak, though. So we definitely don't have great defense. It's definitely better than, when you start in 1992. But, not an all-star caliber defense there, so... Alright, let's go ahead and see what happens here. Ron Extall and Guy Hebert are both cold. And we lost 4-2, so not a crushing defeat or anything like that, but still a loss. And the shot's 47-20, so it looks like it's still going to be a problem. Alright, so again, we have that kind of alternating stars thing going. So Kamienski is the first star with 2 goals and an assist. Darren Rumble for us as an assist, he's the second star. And Joe Sakic with a goal and 2 assists. Alright, so Larionov scored for us, assisted by Rumble and Gordonine. And then Sylvain Turgeon trying to pick up where he left off. 30-goal season, assisted by Jamie Baker. Looks like Jelinek and Nolan got into a scrap there. They fought. Alright, so there was no stopping Jeremy Roenick. He had a hat-trick, 3 goals. Paul Coffey had a strong game, 4 assists. So, of course, he had the crazy good season last year, and he won the Norris, 128 points. That's absolutely nothing to sneeze at as a defenseman. All right. Yeah, I think it's going to take a long time before we see a defenseman score 128 points again in the NHL. Maybe, the offense seems to be a tad on the rise because the game is so much faster, but players are just bigger and better trained and coached than ever, so... All right. Another scouting report that I'm not looking at. And Yashin has completely recovered. So that's good. He's not injured anymore. So maybe he's going to play on the first line or maybe the second. I don't know. We'll see. Pat Telenak is suspended for 4 games. Next game is in St. Louis, so we quickly hit the road. So one thing I didn't mention at the start of the video, one thing that changed is Tampa Bay is now in the Eastern Conference with us, which makes a lot more sense geographically for them, as well as, of course, the Florida Panthers. So, all right, let's go ahead and play against the Blues. Yeah, so Yashin was bumped to the second line now that he's healthy. Larionov's going to be playing on the third line, so still going with Jamie Baker on the first. Sylvain Turgeon is only a 9 in his role there. Hopefully that kind of goes up. And looks like Pavel Dimitra is going to be scratched this game. All right, let's go. So Guillebert's going in net. Very respectable 915 save percentage. And Curtis Joseph had a shutout in his first game, so that's even better. Okay, so let's see. And we won. 4-3 win on the road against the Blues in overtime. We are totally taking it. So let's see here. So we have Chris Luongo, which is our first star for us, a goal and an assist. Bretal, second star with 2 assists. Norm McIver, 2 assists as well. Shots are very respectable. I really like those numbers. We were outshot 29-25. We did get a lot of penalty minutes. I don't know if it's... Yeah, we did get a misconduct. Jody L did get one, so that's going to pad those numbers. All right, so Larionov scored, assisted by Luongo. Bradshaw on the power play. We didn't miss Bradshaw last season. He's decent, and he was gone. Sylvain Turgeon scored his second goal. And who scored the winner in overtime? Chris Luongo did, assisted by Loney Loach and Paul Cavallini. So, all in all, a pretty decent game. Pretty happy. Just checking, I forgot to check the Blues, see if they have a lot of players that are different. And, you know, they didn't make that trade, so they have Jan Eriksson there. Yeah, it's nothing too crazy as far as changes for them either. All right, another suspension. So Ken Baumgartner is suspended for the next game. Teemu Selanne, 12 straight games with a point. So I don't know if it counts preseason and like the end of last season. It has to because it's the start of this season. But I don't know if it counts preseason or not in it. So I'm not sure about that. Zardy Zalewski had a great game. 4 assists. That's pretty good. All right, Brian Murray not happy about the media coverage. The Wings are not are starting poorly to the season. 0-3. They have a really stacked team too. That's not good for them. And they did get more goaltending too. They got Andy Moog to go with Chris Osgood. Scott Stevens, 600 points in his career. So our next game is going to be at Florida Panthers. They started 0-3 this season. Hopefully we can win that. Another suspension. Pat Verbeek is suspended. Probably makes sense. Pat Verbeek was a pretty, let's say, intense player. Suspended for just 1 game. Oh, Selanne is hurt again. That's a couple times that Selanne's had some nagging little injuries. So 5 days. So it's never anything severe, but he keeps getting those little bobos, I guess. And his point streak ended at 12 games. Mark Recchi had a great game, 4 assists for the Flyers. All right, just a scouting report here. Strong game for Jeremy Roenick. Ooh, yeah, 3 goals and 4 assists, 7 points in an 8-2 win against Dallas. So, yes, very good game for Roenick. And I remember for Milan Ticci, who had a hat trick in that same game. So 3 goals. Ken Baumgartner is back from suspension. And Greg Gilbert had a great game for Florida with a hat trick, 3-0. Oh, wow. The Panthers won against Pittsburgh. So their first win in their history is against a very good team. All right, Alexander Deg is ready for contact, so he might be coming back soon and make his season debut. All right, now we're playing. Oh, they played the night before, and we're going to be... All right, Brad McCrimmon played in 1,000 games. Zardy Zalewski is not suspended. And Verbeek is back from suspension. Dale Hunter played in 1,000 games. Alright. So Deg is very close to be back. Alright, so we have a few players that are more than a star and a half now. So, I mean, we're not a great team or anything, but, you know, we can play. Let's put it that way. Alright, playing in Florida against the Panthers. So again, we're going to look at their team real quick. So they have Fizen Van Biesbroek in net. Stephen Finn is the captain. Gusarov, Bill Older, Don McSween. So, let's see. Peter Klima. Probably would have given the captain to Carbonneau or something. Alright, so they don't have a whole lot of offense. I'm hoping that means that we can win. Alright, Yashin back on the first line now, playing with Sylvain Sergeant and Jody Hall. Jimmy Carson. Oh, it's not getting any better for Jimmy. He used to be a playmaker 6. Now he's playing as a screener and he's a 4. So he's pretty mediocre at it. Oh, looks like Donald Dufresne is going to play instead of Paul Cavallini. Alright, so Stéphane Fize is the starter for them. He has a win. And we're going back with Guy Hébert. I wish he had our jersey there instead of the Blues. And we won 1-0. It's a shutout. It's good. It feels good. And Jimmy Carson, very early in the game, got a misconduct. So, nothing to help his cause there. So, Guy Hébert was the first star of the game for us, obviously, with the 31 saves. We were outshot 31-10 against a brand new expansion team. 31-10. Bill Holder was the second star. No stats, obviously. And Jimmy Baker scored the goal, assisted by Bradshaw and Jonas Bergquist. So, 31-10. No suspension for Peter Klima. So Klima did something in that game and he didn't get suspended. Next game is going to be in Tampa Bay. Jeremy Roenick, 5-game goal streak. Same for Luc Robitaille. Alright. And Daigle is very, very, very close to be back. A day or two and he should be back. Alright, Chris King has been suspended for 2 games. And Zubov could have been suspended as well, but he was not. So the Rangers were playing pretty rough, I guess. Pat Helenak is back from his suspension. Alright, so I'm guessing Daigle is going to be available after this game. So let's play this against Tampa Bay. Oh, I didn't really look at their team. And we won 2-1. Good start to the season. We're 3-1. That's pretty good. Getting Guilbert, who doesn't want to let go of his Blues jersey, paid off. Alright, so we were outshot 38-21. So again, looks like this time Sylvain Turgeon got tossed out of the game. So Jamie Baker was the first star with a goal. Brian Bradley had a goal, and then Guilbert, third star, 37 saves. That's pretty good. So Jamie Baker from Lazaro and Berquist, and Bradshaw on the power play from Sylvain Turgeon and Norm McIver. Alright, quite a few news to look at. Paul Coffey extended his assist streak to 8, so he's going to have another great season, I'm sure. Robitaille scored in 6 straight. Maikov is suspended for 8 games. Oh, that's a new high. The most we had ever seen before was 7, so I guess you can get more than 7 games, I suppose. A night to remember for Derek King. 3 goals, sorry. A hat-trick for Derek King. Chris Chelios is hurt. Bruce Ty for 6 days. Goal streak of 6 games for Jeremy Roenick. He's probably going to have a great season again. Yeah, he has 16 points in 6 games so far. That's pretty good. Alright. Daigle is back. So I am going to get him on the team. Alright, so Toronto's bringing back the Team Kangaroo Court. We know what that means. Somebody's going to step on the logo later. Glenn Anderson is going to be the one telling the culprit that he did so. And that's going to happen in a few days. Alright, so Daigle is coming back up. And I'm sorry, Jimmy, but you're a 4 when you play, so you're the one that's going down. Sorry, buddy. I wanted to believe in you, but you're a 4. Alright, so Joe Nieuwendyk set everything up tonight with 4 assists in a game. Alright. So we have a little bit of a break there. So I always wondered why the NHL scheduling always seems to have like a lighter month in October for teams. Like you would think that's when they're the most rested and everything. So I'm not sure why the schedule is always lighter in October. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. You would think that maybe they would want to spread it out better so that players are a little bit better rested during the season. Like, for example, this year in 2019, the Sens had 2 stretches of like 5 and 6 days off in October, and I'm not sure why. But anyway, I'm rambling, which tends to happen in case you haven't noticed. So Paul Coffey extends his assist streak to 9, and goal streak of 7 games for Robitaille. Chris King served his suspension, and Ted Donato is not suspended in Boston. Alright, so we're back at home. We're going to be playing the Stars. Dave Manson not suspended. Assist streak of 8 games for Vincent D'Anfous. Paul Coffey has assists in 10 straight. Alright, so we're playing the Stars. They're 4-2-1, so pretty good record as well for them. Let's see. They have... Oh yeah, they traded John Casey, and they don't really have anybody in net. I mean, they have Roman Turek, but he's not ready. He's just a 1-star goaltender. Jim Johnson, Ludwig, Tsinordi, Donnelly. Oh. Somehow they pried Roman Hammerlich from Tampa Bay. Interesting. Darian Atcher. Yeah, other than that, nothing much to talk about. Lettinen is injured, so he's not going to be playing that game. But that's pretty interesting that they got Roman Hammerlich. I wonder who they... Sean Chambers, I guess. No. I'm not sure. Huh. Alright. So Yashin on the first line, Larionov on the third. So... Alright, so Deg is going to be playing with good players. He's playing on the third line with Larionov and Lonnie Loach. So he's a 14, so he should be okay. So let's hope that he can play good. Alright, so the Stars with Wayne Cawley in net. And we lost 5-2, so can't win them all, I suppose. Alright, so what does it look like here? Yeah, we completely outshot them to 43-27. So for once, we were the ones with the huge shot advantage, but we just couldn't get past their goaltender. So their first star was Modano, 2 goals and an assist. Ross Courtnall, a goal and 2 assists, and Ulf Dallin, a goal and 2 assists as well. So yeah, they played a lot better than us. Deg scored. Alright, that's good. From Deneen and Loach, and Jonas Bergquist from Jamie Baker and Paul Cavallini. So those are our 2 goals. And Dave Gagne is coming back from suspension after our game. Oh, next game we're going right back on the road playing against the Islanders. Alright, Gary Roberts extends his goal streak to 5 games. There was no stopping Wendell Clark. Hat-trick, 3 goals. Yannick Perrault is the one who stepped on the logo. Alright. Paul Coffey assists in 11 straight games. So he has 3 goals and 15 assists for 18 points in 9 games. You don't really see defensemen. Well, I guess John Carlson in Washington this year had kind of a pretty good start to the season as well. Alright, we're playing in Long Island. They are 2-4-1, so we have more points than them. Let's look at their team. So they have Mark Fitzpatrick and Tommy Salo. Tom Tom Carver, Scott Lachance, Malakov, McBean, Norton, Darren Van Imp, Kasparidis, Krupp, like Pierre Turgeon. Alright, so they don't have like anybody that stands out as like being a big trade or anything like that that I might have missed. Alright, Dimitro's gonna play. Degle is still on the third line, but this time with Larionov and Archibald. I guess Lonely Loach is having a day off. Alright, so Yashin has no points so far this year. That's not good. We need for him to do better. They're sending in Tommy Salo, who has, oh dear God, I don't think I've ever seen a goaltending save percentage that low in my life. 556. Wow. And we won 5-2. Another win for us. Guilleberg is pretty good for us. I like him. Alright, so Norm McIver with the first star with a goal. Sylvain Turgeon a goal and an assist. And Deg 2 more goals to his score sheet. That's good. Yashin had an assist finally. So Turgeon scored. Bergquist from Lazaro. Deg from Larionov. Deg again for Rumble and Archibald. Norm McIver and Yashin had a second assist there. Alright, so Yashin has 2 assists in 6 games. So looking a little bit better. We were outshot 37-25, so not too bad, I guess. A night to remember for Jeremy Roenick, who had a hat trick, 3 goals. Brian Bellows had goals in 5 straight. And it's a streak of 9 games for Vincent D'Anfous. Alright, and now we're going to face the other expansion team, the Anaheim Mighty Ducks at home. Hopefully we win that one as well. Pat Eleanok is suspended again, so that's the second time this year, and 9 games. Ooh. Paul Coffey assists point streak of 12, but it was 2 goals. He didn't get any assists, so his assist streak is ended, but he still has a point streak going. 26 straight games with points for Wayne Gretzky. Alright, and the obligatory player that gets hurt for helping a friend move this month goes to Chris Pronger. So his incredible workout regimen during the off-season didn't spare him from being hurt for 2 weeks for carrying furniture or something. Alright, let's look at the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. So they have Potvin in net, so pretty good goaltender. So they have Potvin and Tugnut, so they're set in net as far as I'm concerned. That's a pretty good tandem. They have Richard Schmelik, a pretty decent defenseman. Of course, they have Paul Kariya. He's starting his career, too. Dmitry Kavatalnov was a decent offensive guy. Bernie Nichols, pretty good. Denis Sava, pretty good. So, all in all, I think that Anaheim drafted a lot better. I think they have a much better team than Florida, which that's fine with me because Florida is on our side. Alright, so let's see. Deg's still on the third line with Larionov and Loach. Alright. Alrighty. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. An 8-1 win. So, yeah. Ooh, Yashin had one heck of a game. We're about to look at that. Alright, so 8-1 win. We were ahead in shots 40-31. And Yashin had 3 goals and 3 assists in that game, so pretty good game. Norm McIver, a goal and 3 assists, also a pretty good game. And Gieba was the 3rd star with 30 saves. So Yashin, assisted by Deg and McIver. Yashin from McIver. Yashin from Sean McIver. Loach, Alexander Deg, another assist there. Serjan, Larionov. Alright. So, Deg had 2 assists. So, pretty decent game for him too. So we're 5-2 to start the season. We need to not get carried away here. We haven't faced any juggernauts yet. We haven't faced like Pittsburgh and Detroit and teams like that. Alright, no stopping Joe Nieuwendyk. He had a hat trick, 3 goals. There was no stopping Steve Yzerman, who had 3 goals and an assist. So Detroit is starting to play maybe a little bit better, 3-6-1, but they started 0-3, so also depend on their schedule. Maybe they faced a lot of really good teams to start, and that things didn't go their way. All right, next game at home against Philadelphia. Suspension for Christian Ruutu, 2 games. Danfus didn't get any points against the Devils. His assist streak is over. Point streak of 13 for Paul Coffey with an assist. Oh, Gretzky didn't get a point, so it ended at 26 games for him. And Sylvain Côté donates time and money to cancer research. So I've read that a few times. This time it's Sylvain Côté of Washington. Alright, playing the Flyers. They have a pretty good team. I mean, they're 5-3-1. That's a good record. It's not crazy good, but it's good. Yeah, they don't have the goaltending, which, you can pick almost any year in the Flyers' history, almost, and look at their goaltending and just say they don't have the goaltending. It's been like a problem forever, it seems. All right, Gary Galley is a pretty good defenseman. He's there. Yushkevich, Rod Brandamore, Lindros, of course, Kevin Deneen, Mark Rickey, Mikael Renberg. Pretty decent team. It's going to be tough. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Alright, so they're sending Dominique Roussel in net. And we lost 3-2. So not a crushing defeat again, but a loss nonetheless. They outshot us 33-20. Mikael Renberg was the first star with a goal. Sylvain Turgeon a goal and an assist, and Brian Benning had an assist. So those were the 3 stars. Bergquist and Sylvain Turgeon scored for us. Yashin had an assist. Oh. Gretzky is day-to-day with Anne soreness. So he shouldn't be missing too much time, I would think. Paul Coffey didn't get a point against Detroit, so his streak ended at 13 games. Trevor Linden is suspended for 7 games. Alright, so we have Gordonine that is hurt for 2 days. He should be fine. I don't know if he's going to play. So we're playing in Boston. Nah, Gordonine is not playing. So Donald Zufrine is going to play on the right-hand side. Alright, so... first game of the season for Daniel Berthiaume after he carried our team all of last season. And they're sending their backup as well, Scott Gordon. So Boston is 4-3-2. And we lost 4-1. Oof, we got peppered with shots again. Lost 4-1. They had 50 shots, we had 25, so they exactly doubled us. Adam Oates, a goal and 2 assists. Ray Bork, 2 assists. And Ray Shepard had 2 goals. So as we know, they traded for Ray Shepard. So that's an interesting get for Boston. That's a pretty good winger. And there's some talent already in Boston up front. So I don't think it's a bad move. I just don't know who they have in net anymore. Oh, John Blue. And yeah, they don't have goaltending anymore. Yeah, the rest of the team is pretty well rounded, but they just don't have good goaltending. Alright, so Bergquist scored on the power play, assisted by Degg and McIver. That was our only goal. Donald Dufresne improves at right defense. Yes, because he played there for Gordonine. Injury puts Derek King on sidelines. Torn ulnar collateral ligament. He's out for 6 months. So a big blow for the Islanders. Derek King is a decent winger. So now they're not going to be able to have him for the rest of the season, pretty much. Big game for Per Juice of Anaheim with 3 goals. He had a hat trick. Richard Schmelik, probably playing as his partner on defense, had 4 assists in the same game. Scouting reports, not looking at that. And then shenanigans in the Anaheim dressing room. Anaheim teammates Nikolai Tsuligin and Paul Carrier are in hot water with head coach Terry Crisp for a series of pranks aimed at other teammates and at one another. These guys are adults, said the Mighty Ducks. Well, Paul Carrier is kind of a teenager. And they're supposed to be professionals. And Tsuligin is also a teenager. So they're not really adults, buddy. Why they're acting like a couple of clowns is beyond me. According to Chris, both players will be fine if the behavior continues. Tsuligin, however, doesn't understand why his head coach is getting all worked up. We're just having a little fun, blowing off some steam. He doesn't need to call us out in public, and finding us would be taking it way too far. Carrier was slightly more diplomatic. It's embarrassing to be singled out like that. I guess I need to take things a little more seriously from now. Alright, and it's going to be the last game of the month. We're going to be playing in Dallas. Strong game for Pierre Turgeon. 3 goals and an assist. Good game for Pierre. And Gordonine is feeling better. Alrighty, let's play this game. Oh, they moved Degg to center the 4th line and moved Larionov up to the 2nd line. Huh. Alright, so we're 5-4 for the first month so far, and Dallas is 5-4-2, so they did play more than us. Roman Turek in net for Dallas. And it's a 1-1 tie. We'll take it. That gives us a decent month, I think. It's a winning month, so it's definitely good. Alright, let's look at the stats real quick. So they outshot us 31-26. I'm totally fine with numbers that look like that. I wish it was looking like that more often. So Jim Johnson, a goal, Turgeon with an assist, and Craig Ludwig, no stats. So Norm McIver tied the game in the 3rd, assisted by Yashin and Turgeon. Dave Archibald is injured. Okay. Alright, back stiffness. He's going to need to go on the injured reserve, which means I am going to recall somebody else. So let's see who's doing good down there. Labelle has 3 points in 9 games. Darcy Lowen has 4 games in 9 games. 4 points in 9 games. Peluso 6 points in 10 games. Andy Schneider 6 points in 9 games. And Saint Amo 3 points in 8 games. So Andy Schneider is the one doing the best down here. Ooh. Jimmy Carson can't even get points in the American League. I think his career is going down. What about Jim Vesey? 4 points. I'm gonna recall Schneider. He doesn't have like he only has an alpha star. I mean, I don't expect him to play much, if at all. But he's the most deserving left winger I have, so he's coming because he's the one that was playing the best. I will try to reward players that are playing better. Alright. Gonna finish the month and then we're gonna call this a video. Strong night for Ron Wilson, who had 3 goals, so a hat trick for Ron Wilson, the veteran, 37 years old. Mario Lemieux, 2 assists. That's 1,200 points in his career. Joe Mullen scored in 5 straight. Christian Rutu is back from suspension. Alright, scouting reports, not looking at that. Gordon is back. There's a trade between Chicago and Detroit. Darcy Wakaluk and Mark Hardy are going to Detroit for Tim Shovelday and Mike Torchia. So lots of goaltenders moving. So Tim Shovelday is going to... So I think Chicago is getting the upper hand in that one. Alright, I need to give Andy Schneider a number. Here, you can have 49. That looks like a number that I would give a rookie that might not play. Alright, so we're going to sim one more day. Good game from Mika Alatalo. He had 4 assists. That's pretty good. So our development, Gieba got a little bit better. That's good. We want to see that. Donald Dufresne is getting worse, which is not good. Mark Lamb and Jim Vesey is getting worse. Yashin Travers is getting a little bit better. Gerard. So Alexandre Deg didn't get anything one way or another, so that's not good. We don't want for him to stagnate. I would like for him to develop, but not happening this month at least. Alright, so the player of the months were Jeremy Roenick and John Casey of the Blackhawks. So I guess John Casey is playing over Ed Belfour. Is that what's going on? Sure is. Well, Belfour hasn't played well when he did play. He has a 36 game rating. Although that was 1 game. Yeah, weird things going on in Chicago. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and I don't want to look at you guys. I want to look at the stats for us. Alright, so we have 3 players that are a point per game after the first month. So we have Norm McIver with 3 goals and 7 assists, 10 points in 10 games. Sylvain Turgeon, 5 goals, 5 assists for 10 points. And Yashin, 3 goals and 7 assists for 10 points. Daigle is also a point per game. He missed the start of the season. He has 6 points in 6 games, so that's pretty good as well. Thomas Jelinek has no points in 10 games, and so that's definitely not good. Dimitra doesn't have a point either. Larionov, 3 goals and assists. Okay. Bergquist kept 4 goals to assists. All right. It looks a lot better in the plus-minus than it did in the first season. Hopefully it can stay that way. Even if I'm not a strong believer in that particular stat, the game does. So that's kind of important. Let's look at league leaders. So Joe Mullen, 14 goals, as well as Jeremy Roenick and Ray Shepherd. So good acquisition for Boston for sure to get Ray Shepherd. Jagger, who had 87, I think, last year. He has 10 so far. 21 assists for Lemieux. He's first, and he's the best scorer in the league with 29 points. And Wayne Gretzky is nowhere to be found in that list, but he did get hurt, so I don't know if he missed time. That's pretty much it. We don't have any leaders anywhere except for penalty minutes with Norm McIver of all people with 38 penalty minutes. Alright, so I think that pretty much sums it up. I am going to save the game. And I'm going to go ahead and call this a video. So as usual, thank you for tuning in. And if you've liked the video, feel free to like and subscribe. And until I roll this game again, see you guys next time. Thank you.